Coverage of the MLK Classic at St. Catherine University continues with Game 5 of 6. The 9-4 Eden Prairie Eagles take on the 7-4 Mahtomedi Zephyrs. Mike Beaton still with you, and the Eagles coming off a tough loss to Hopkins, of course, at Eden Prairie. Shorthanded this year as Savannah Jones is unable to play, recovering from ACL surgery after suffering an injury, earlier in the summer. Mahtomedi went through a bump of their own with their young gun Mya Wilson out to start the season. Mya is back in the lineup, and with her return, that should make Mahtomedi the favorite in Section 4-3A EP in the group of death, Section 2-4A. And there are plenty of players to watch here. We mentioned Mya Wilson for Mahtomedi, as they try to do something they have never done before, reach the state tournament. Eden Prairie, Molly Lenz going to Illinois State. And you also have a strong sophomore class. Ellen Weesey spoke highly of the young group, including Tori Schlagel and Vanessa Jordan. Mya Wilson averaging 15.4 points per game since her return. Sonia Pothoff averaging 14.8 for the Zephyrs. Ella Cletty averaging 13. So Mahtomedi, they have plenty of options. And for Eden Prairie, similar story. Molly Lenz 13.9. Tori Schlagel 13.0. Annika Anderson 11.5. Ashley Fritz 12.2. The starters for the two sides. For Mahtomedi, it's Sonia Pothoff, Ella Frazier, Ella Cletty, Mya Wilson, and Anna Green. Eden Prairie will start Molly Lenz, Annika Anderson, Ashley Fritz, Tori Schlagel, and Vanessa Jordan. Starting slightly behind schedule, with their last game running long, and this is one of those games where on paper EP figures to have the edge, given the teams they played and how strong they have performed over the last few years. But Mahtomedi, they played a close one with Jordan, one of the top teams in 3A, 75-74. You can't get any closer. They also lost to Providence Academy, but they didn't have Mya Wilson at the time, as was the case with Stewartville. So there's a bit of an asterisk in that sense. But you got to play with the hand you're dealt. Zephyrs start first with possession, and Mya Wilson is fouled. Mya was part of that 43 Hoops 7th grade team that did some wonderful things. Drive no good. Tori Schlagel with the rebound. Annika Anderson, the daughter of 1994 Miss Basketball out of Bloomington Jefferson. Ashley Fritz, and that is Molly Lenz. Fritz out on the floor as well. Ashley's come along nicely. Vanessa, the daughter of two former Gopher athletes, Crawford Jordan and Sarah Jordan. Crawford, a former member of the football team, and Sarah, member of the basketball team. There's Molly Lenz, who has been a beacon of leadership for the last couple of years. Free throws coming for Ella Cletty. And Cletty this season averaging 13 points per game. 3 players have reached the 20-point mark, and I meant to say have reached the 20-point mark at least once in a game. I meant to say not and. It's been a long day, folks. This is my 5th of 6 games. Eventually, I turned delirious. 2-1 the score. Three no good, and the rebound, Anna Green. Mahtomedi, even though they don't have a state tournament appearance in girls basketball, they do have quite a bit of history. Allie Green was an all-star. So was Emma Grothaus, the all-time leading scorer at Mahtomedi. Vanessa Jordan on the drive, no good. Fritz, tough angle, can't get the layup to drop. The Zephyrs zipping down floor. Tori Schlagel with the denial. Lenz to Fritz, no good. Ashley will try again. Having a tough time near the rim in the early going, but we have a long way to go. Frazier drives, too strong. I know it's early, but whoever can get settled in near the paint could have the edge here. Both teams don't have any trouble positioning themselves near the rim, but whoever can finish first, that could be a big help. And Annika Anderson does just that. She'll go to the line for two. Or one, I should say. Annika Anderson made two. Annika Anderson loves to cook, and she also plays tennis at Eden Prairie, National Honor Society, Connect 9, and the Interact Club. And Ellen Wiese speaks highly of her players, whether it's here at Eden Prairie or as the executive director of the Metro Stars. She was asking me about Providence Academy earlier today and let out a fist pump when she heard about Grace Counts and her sensational performance. 27 points, a double-double. Fun to watch. Here's EP. A transition three, no good. Schlagel foul from behind. She'll shoot two. Tori Schlagel averaging 13 points per game. Shooting 40% from the floor. And at the free throw line, 87%. This is where Eden Prairie does quite well, the free throw line. Schlagel shooting 87%, Molly Lenz 84%, Anderson 75%, Ray Ehrman 89%, Vanessa Jordan 85%. Not a ton of attempts in terms of volume, but they're making them when they count, and you never know when you'll need them. Schlagel makes both free throws there, and the Eagles off to a 7-1 start. Jordan harassing Pothoff, and it leads to a steal for Annika Anderson. Shot no good. That's Mya Wilson. The dribble drive. Anderson making another denial. Schlagel on the other end. Takes the outlet feed in for two. And Schlagel has a quick four. Eden Prairie up 9-1 over Mahtomedi. Wilson thought about pulling up, instead kicked out at the last moment, and the move pays off as Sonia Pothoff scores on the drive. Mahtomedi gets the ball after Eden Prairie turns it over. Pothoff to Wilson. Takes the shovel pass into traffic. Came up with her own miss. Mahtomedi located on the eastern end of White Bear Lake. And Annika Anderson providing several defensive plays in the early going. That one turns into a scoop and score. And the Eagles jump ahead to an 11-3 lead. Eden Prairie, they'll play just about anybody. Here's a three for Wilson. Long. Schlagel with the rebound. They're smaller than they would like to be. Again, no Savannah Jones, who I think would have had a breakout senior year given the contributions she made with Metro Stars. But you play with the hand you're dealt. Molly Lenz to the line. Averaging 13.9 points per game, 84% free throw shooter, as we noted earlier. Headed to Illinois State next year. Lenz does a little bit of everything, and you honestly could say that about all of the athletes for Eden Prairie. One of their own will hopefully get to play for Minnesota next year. Nia Holloway rehabbing from an ACL injury she suffered during the summer workout session. Eden Prairie up 13-3. Here's a deep three for Ray Ehrman, bullseye. And that draws a reaction. Sometimes when you get a battle of 4A and 3A schools, it works out like this. Wilson missing a couple of chances from short range. Eden Prairie looking to floor it again. Schlagel recovers in time to lay it in. Timeout, Mahtomedi. Blink and you'll miss it. That is how Eden Prairie has played. They started the season on a high note, winning their first 6 games, and then dropped a close one with Becker. That was a road game, December 16th. Played close with Chaska, and then had that big loss to Hopkins most recently. Again, they're not afraid to play anybody. They don't mind putting some 2A, 3A schools on the schedule if it helps them. And the Lake Conference historically has had to get creative to fill games with only 7 members in the conference. But they have the bulk of Lake Conference games ahead of them, including a rematch with Hopkins on February 7th, and then a makeup with Maple Grove. Those two were supposed to play in December. The game was rescheduled to a Saturday affair, February 18th. Ellen Weesey, you may recall, built up the Orono program, helped them reach state. Spent a year at St. Thomas with Rusin, then returned to the high school ranks here at Eden Prairie, and has developed them into a consistent contender. Wilson not giving up, and you can't. Steps into the jumper, knocks it down. That makes it 18-5 in favor of the Eagles. Long jumper goes off the back iron. That was number 2. Cameron Denon, another member of that sophomore class. Eden Prairie steals the ball back. Lenz for 3. Rebound tipped. Ella Frazier wins the foot race. Molly Lenz knocks it away from behind. .10:42 left in the first half. A strong start for the Eagles. That was number 4, Sophia Peer on the drive, and then she was denied. Had a couple of black jerseys in her face. Lenz using the acceleration tactic, and it will stay with EP. Ever since Eloise took over, several athletes of hers have gone D1 as Molly Lenz curls into the mid-range elbow J. And Lenz with 6. Ella Hardwick with the tip. Lenz picks up the steal. The kick out to Hardwick. She goes baseline. Lost it, and Wilson is fouled. But in a short span of time, folks like Neka Obeyizer, Natalie Mazurik have gone on to play D1, and Nia Holloway will hopefully do the same when she fully recovers from her knee injury. But I had a chance to catch up with her yesterday, doing quite well. Eden Prairie getting steals almost ad nauseum. It's Anna Jager. And more free throws coming for Molly Lenz. Mahtomedi just doesn't have an answer for the quickness and agility on Eden Prairie's roster. And this Eden Prairie team, they've always emphasized balance. You don't see players go off for supersized games. But it was at this event 3 years ago. Sam would know this. That's where I was officially introduced to Nia Holloway. She had that double-double. I was getting over a cold that day. I'll never forget it because if you listen to my voice by the end of that game, Sam and I called the games together. Sam running the camera this time because I'm not skilled enough to. It was a lot of fun, and it turned into a friendship. Molly Lenz making friends with the free throw line. That will stay with Mahtomedi. 9:20 to go, and Eden Prairie up 22-5. You've got two Eden Prairie players currently outscoring Mahtomedi as a whole. But they never believed in leaving it to one person to get the job done. Emily Metzel sinks the 3 after collecting the feed from Frazier. Anderson stops, pops, swish. Anderson with 7. Mahtomedi on the take. Sophia Peer saw a lane and went right through it. Hardwick. Another 3 for the Eagles. This time it comes up short. Jump ball. Eden Prairie with the possession arrow. 8:18 left in the first half. 24-10. And win or lose, this is another game that should help Mahtomedi because the Metro East, the only team I think they have to worry about is Hill Murray. But they played some notable teams outside the conference. Stewartville, Providence Academy. They still have a game with White Bear Lake, part of the Take the Lake rivalry series. The two schools, I believe, outside of football meet in every sport. We have free throws coming for Ashley Fritz. Missed the front end there. Ashley Fritz shooting 63% from the free throw line, averaging 12.2 points per game, 4.8 rebounds, turning into a reliable contributor this year after coming off the bench a year ago. Fritz splits at the line. And we have 8 minutes left. That is Cam Denon, who picks Pothoff's pocket And Fritz muscles her way in for the layup. Eden Prairie just too quick for Mahtomedi right now. As they balloon this lead, Wilson lost the dribble. Double dribble is the call. 27-10. And that'll be enough for the Zephyrs to take another timeout. This game has been all Eden Prairie. Ashley Fritz, we noted this the last time we covered Eden Prairie in that game over Benilde St. Margaret's. She competed in dance for 9 years, took part in that in addition to basketball. And Annika Anderson, we mentioned her mother, 1994 Miss Basketball from Bloomington Jefferson. Kirsten Miller is the person we're thinking of, and members of the St. Catherine women's basketball team who are helping out with the scores table. They're strumming along to Stacy's Mom. Stacy's Mom being the song. I'm a little surprised by that because they're probably, some of them, it's possible some of them weren't even born when the song was released in 2003. And if they were infants. Well, I hope you enjoyed our latest episode of Mike Peden Dates Himself. Eden Prairie, though, having a date with the scoreboard as they lead 27-10. Ella Hardwick for three, off the back iron. Frazier. The bounce pass. Whoa! Okay, that was a deflection by Cam Denon. Initially, I wasn't sure what happened. And another characteristic, Eden Prairie played at the MLK Classic the last time we had it in 2020 when the Fury were hosting it. They also played last year when it was moved to Holy Family Catholic. But every year that Eden Prairie has come here, as Anderson picks up her first personal foul, Eden Prairie brings such a large contingent. 3 years ago was slightly larger. We've got a foul before the inbound. But the bench often extends to the corner. 3 years ago, they had to wrap around the corner. Not quite as much this year, but Eden Prairie, they always bring a crowd. Potoff. This is Sophia Peer now. Guarded closely. Can't get the ball out in time. 5-second call. Ashley Fritz responsible for the turnover. Fritz, no good. I should say she lost it. Well, that is no good when you lose control of the ball like that. That three is no good. And the rebound goes to Emily Metzel. Wilson. Now Potoff has it at the key. Tried to thread it to Frazier and nothing there. Frazier was in a tough position. Ashley Fritz lost the handle. Can the Zephyrs find some momentum? This is Elacletti through the hole, too strong on the layup. And that's a reach and foul on Emily Metzel. Last foul to give for the Zephyrs, but that might be the least of their worries right now. Lenz looking for help. And Eden Prairie will reset. Schlagel for three. Airballs it. And a few other EP alumni. We mentioned some of the D1 commits that have come through Ellen Weesey's program. Destiny Bursch came over from Chaska, now playing at MSU Mankato, one of the top Division II programs in the country. Molly Lenz swipes the pass from Frazier. Hooks up with Schlagel in transition, and that's almost automatic. Mahtomedi was looking for a transition score of their own. They won't get it, but Anna Green will go to the free throw line. Anna Green averaging 11.1 points per game. And again for the Zephyrs, if nothing else, this is another key tune-up. We'll see if they're able to make up that game with White Bear Lake. Mahtomedi, the favorites. With Totino Grace graduating the two people responsible for the state title. Metzel with the offensive rebound, allowing Pothoff to sink the three. So a 4-point play for the Zephyrs, and did they need it? It's still 29-14 EP over Mahtomedi, but that could help the Zephyrs in a big way. Vanessa Jordan, last time we saw her, she was coming off the bench. And we see her adding an assist for Ella Hardwick. Starting tonight, and Jordan played tremendously at the start of the season. Emily Metzel made the cut down low and will shoot two. Metzel averaging just 4.4 points per game. And again, when you look at Mahtomedi's schedule, you wonder, had Wilson been able to play against Providence Academy or Stewartville, what would the outcome be? As Metzel knocks down the front end. She gets both to drop. And now the Zephyrs get the turnover with 3:22 to go. Can they control it? They do, but not enough. And now we have a scramble. And another jump ball. Eden Prairie holds the arrow. 31-16, Eagles over Zephyrs. Wilson didn't make her first appearance until the Mounds View game. And then took the Alexandria game off based on her stat line. Right now, we have more free throws coming for Eden Prairie and Tori Schlagel. Schlagel playing with the North Tartan 15 team last year, staying with the North Tartan program this year. And doing quite well. That North Tartan team included the likes of Sophie Hawkinson, Madden Greenway, Bree Bowman. Schlagel also holds a black belt in Taekwondo. I remember mentioning that with Alex, and both of us told ourselves we're not going to mess with her. We got a black belt in Taekwondo. She knows how to defend herself. Mahtomedi bobbles the pass. And another turnover incurred. Jordan backs off. Lenz tried to put a move on Metzel. Resets. Schlagel goes inside to set up for Lenz on the outside, but the shot doesn't land. Schlagel with the poke. Now Wilson has it. Pulls up. Nothing there. Rebound Schlagel. She's got Lenz. Late foul called on Pierce, so Lenz will shoot two more. Lenz will join another Minnesota standout at Illinois State next year in Savannah McGowan. Savannah put up a 20-20 game last year at Robbinsdale Armstrong. Molly Lenz, season high was 21 in the win over St. Louis Park. She also scored 20 in a win over section rival Prairie Lake earlier this season. But the Lakers did get a big win over Lakeville South most recently. So again, Section 2, often called the group of death, historically and statistically. That was the case last year. Although Prairie Lake wasn't able to play, they bowed out owing to some incidents that occurred involving the girls basketball team. Lenz, the kick out. Ashley Fritz works her way inside and lays it in. 36-16. Mahtomedi unable to convert the layup. Emily Metzel gritting for the O-board. That was tipped by Ray Ehrman, so Pothoff can retrieve it. 1:02 to go. In a half that has been all EP. Poked away by the Eagles. Zephyrs ball. Long two. Doesn't drop for Ella Prose. 43 seconds. Mahtomedi diving for the loose ball. Picks it up. Pass a little soft and intercepted by Lenz. And she's grabbed. So that is a foul, and Molly Lenz will go to the line. Lenz shooting 39%. But again, the free throw line is where she thrives, 84. And Lenz also shooting about 32% from three-point range. She's one of those players that I would consider a glue figure. She may not always score the most. She may not be the loudest in terms of her statistical impact. But she is a steady leader and has been for the last couple of years, playing for the top North Tartan team over the last 2 summers. Splits there, but Eden Prairie up by 3 touchdowns, 37-16. Or if that's not your fancy, if yesterday's Vikings-Giants game is still too raw, you could use a blackjack. Right now, we've got a jump ball, Mahtomedi with the arrow. And 25 seconds on the clock. Whatever the term you wish to use, it's clear Eden Prairie has dominated this first half. Another drive-in miss for Sophia Peer, having some trouble. Eagles with plenty of time, but they're not going to need any of it as Tori Schlagel goes outlet. Off the pass from Lenz. Mahtomedi with a quick score on the other end. And if nothing else, that should give them a little momentum. Good if it goes. Close. But a tremendous, sensational, sizzling first half for the Eagles, who lead 39-18 over the Zephyrs and are making life miserable for them defensively. We'll see if Mahtomedi has an answer for this in a battle of 4A and 3A schools. And I'm going to figure out what happened to Stacy's mom when we return for the second half. You're watching the Martin Luther King Jr. Classic at St. Catherine University. Eden Prairie leads Mahtomedi 39-18.
Twin Cities Sports Broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves.
Holloman, good if it goes. Yes!
Game winners.
From James. She's in trouble. Finds James. Toss shot! It goes in!
And everything in between. Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. Let's put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching.
The second half moments away at the Butler Center here at St. Catherine University. Mike Peden with you. Eden Prairie dominating the first half, leading 39-18. Leading scorers, Molly Lenz with 11, Tori Schlagel with 11, Annika Anderson with 7. Nobody with more than 5 from Mahtomedi. We'll see if they can change that for the second half. But it was really a case, as we have a double dribble call on Annika Anderson, not the way you want to start. It was a case of defense, defense, defense. Eden Prairie swarming Mahtomedi, and that's what they do to a lot of teams. That's what they did last year. Wear you out defensively and then move in for the stop, move in to make a play on offense. Mahtomedi 7-4, Eden Prairie 9-4. Vanessa Jordan sprinting down court. Schlagel with the finish on the fast break. Ashley Fritz picks up the assist. Mahtomedi, trouble on the outlet initially. They do recuperate. And here's Pothoff, who gets the left-handed runner to fall. And Tori Schlagel shaken up. She'll be subbed out. You hope it's just a little bump. Earlier I mentioned some of the Division II recruits for Eden Prairie as Schlagel finds Ray Ehrman for the corner three. That's Anderson, I should say. Destiny Bursch at MSU Mankato, Myra Morjani, a two-sport athlete at UMD. Mahtomedi running a high-low, and a cutting Anna Green gets the layup, but Eden Prairie leads 44-22. Here's Fritz again. She'll take it all the way. Mahtomedi looking to go outlet. Pass was slightly offline, but Ella Cletty does get the foul call, so she will go to the line for two. Ella Cletty this season averaging 13 points per game. That 23-point performance came in the season opener against Humboldt, which was a runaway, 84-11. But Humboldt and Mahtomedi on different trajectories here. Cletty knocks down both free throws. She has a couple of 20-point games, had another 20-point performance against Eastview at the Tip-Off Classic. Hesitation move by Vanessa Jordan leads to her first field goal of the game. And again, Vanessa, over time, could be one of the big names for the Eden Prairie program, much like Obi Iser was before she went to Las Vegas, and Natalie Mazurek, and Nia Holloway. Nia had a quiet freshman season before she had a breakout year as a sophomore. At this event, as I noted before, that's where I was introduced to her. I covered her in a game previously, but she was a bench player then. My voice was wrecked, but her two-way play wasn't. Mya Wilson with the tough bunny. If she can get going, it may not be enough to win the game, but it would certainly give Mahtomedi a morale boost. Molly Lenz, that doesn't happen often, lost the handle and coughs it up. Scramble, and Eden Prairie wins possession of it through more pressure defensive play, and Ashley Fritz turns it into another pair. This is what makes the Eagles such a treacherous foe in their section. Annika Anderson gets a steal and layup of her own. Timeout, Mahtomedi. 52-26. Eden Prairie up big. Annika Anderson, as we noted, the daughter of 1994 Miss Basketball Minnesota Kirsten Miller. Enjoys cooking. And loves the memories she has made with her teammates. And she also feels the sport has taught her a great deal about handling setbacks and adversity. This is the last invitational we are covering. Most of the invitationals wrap up by the midway point of the season. but there are plenty of games left on the calendar if you're watching this on the TSB Television YouTube channel. We'll have several dates in February. Mahtomedi again succumbs to the press. Initially, they do get control of it, and Ella Cletty is fouled by Vanessa Jordan, but the Eagles unapologetic about their approach. .28 left in the second half. And the only setback the Eagles are suffering right now is the foul situation. 17-footer, no good. Offensive rebound for Metzel. And Anna Green makes the second try count. Eden Prairie in a jam, so they'll call a timeout. .14:05 left in the second half, 52-28 the score. Gives us a chance to share a few more notes on the Eden Prairie team. Ray Ehrman, who has a couple of threes. Her given name is Remington, but everyone calls her Ray. She also likes to work out and play tennis. Quick timeout for the Eagles. We mentioned Bursch earlier. Not the all-time scoring leader. Ray Ehrman unable to drop the deep three. Bursch is the all-time steals and assists leader, and she didn't play for a year at EP. She didn't come over until a short time after her varsity career started, when she suited up for Chaska for a time. Played 2 years at EP and did quite well. Here's Anderson for three, short. There's an opening. Annika Anderson tried to close it. Instead, she bumps Ella Cletty, and that will send Ella back to the line for two more. Ella Cletty, 3 of 4 from the free throw line. And not that I ever root for any team over another, but if you're a Mahtomedi follower, if you've witnessed their history, there's a sense that perhaps they're due for that oh so elusive state tournament berth. Jordan to Lenz, 3-ball. And a foul on EP. 13:02 to go. It looked like the Zephyrs might have a chance to do it in the Emma Grothaus years. They put together some strong teams back then. They just weren't able to get to the finish line. Amy Thompson played there as an 8th grader before moving to Stillwater. free throws coming for Anna Green. And Mahtomedi, throughout the network of sports teams, they typically do well. There isn't a bad team, or one that you wouldn't put on the short list anyway. The boys basketball team playing exceptionally well. Boys and girls soccer always in contention. Football, they play well there. Volleyball not too shabby either. I covered a section game. Eden Prairie with trouble on the passing route. That's going to lead to a transition opportunity and a bucket for Sophia Peer. So Mya Wilson not seeing a ton of action, but some of the other Zephyrs are. Anderson missing the layup, but she'll shoot 2. Anderson knocks down the front end. And the back end. Eden Prairie 14 of 17 from the free throw line. Perhaps not a surprise. We listed all of the sharpshooters they have at the free throw line. 4 of them shooting in the 80s. Annika Anderson at 75. That was a silky smooth touch jumper from Anna Green, and she's got 9. But Eden Prairie still up 54-36. The lead was as high as 26 at one point. Tori Schlagel negotiated with the rim there, and 1 out. Stop, pop, nothing doing for Mya Wilson, who's been held in check. I also want to point out, there's always time for a first. I think this is the first time I've seen a door handle used as a steadying unit for a GoPro cam, as Molly Lenz steadies herself for another jumper. We don't have padding here. There's enough space behind the baselines, but it's still amusing to see. Normally you prop it on some padding. In this case, it's a door handle. 58-36. Eden Prairie over Mahtomedi in a game that Eden Prairie controlled from the start. Blew it open with that defensive array. Wilson guarded heavily. Metzel was open, but the pass was offline, and again, Wilson was in a treacherous spot. And we're gonna have free throws for Tori Schlagel, Eden Prairie. They've been busy at the line. Tori Schlagel with 15 points. And again, received a lot of praise, she and the rest of that sophomore class. Ellen Weesey really likes the up-and-comer she has at Eden Prairie. Schlegel splits there. Dropped a season-high 26 against Minneapolis Roosevelt. And against Eastridge, she had 25. So Tori Schlagel starting to embrace some of those big games. She had 21 in a runaway win over section rival Baconia. And we're going to have free throws here because Mahtomedi's in the bonus the rest of the way. Emily Metzel to shoot 1 and 1. And she gets on the board. But 10:43 to go. That could be a lot of time, depending on what the final score is. Metzel with the split. Denon back on the floor for the Eagles. Lost ball, picked up by the Zephyrs. Ella Cletty backpedaling. Mya Wilson recovers. Unable to get her own miss. The rebound goes to Fritz. Wilson having a tough go of it. The runner for Lenz is through. Lenz with 15. Cletty, the kick out. Wilson. Not much there for the Zephyrs. It's been tough throughout this game finding those opportunities. But when Eden Prairie's defensive schemes are clicking, they are a tough opponent. Won their first 6 games to start the year before they ran into Becker. And that includes wins over Roseville, who team made state last year in 4A, Benilde St. Margaret's, who made it in 3A, and Eastridge, considered the top team in the Suburban East. Green is hacked by Fritz, and she'll shoot 2. Mahtomedi, they're doing what they need to. Again, not having Mya Wilson, that may have influenced some of their results this season. Presumably, they would have her back if Mahtomedi is able to find a makeup date with White Bear Lake. One of the teams that made state. And the Zephyrs do not have Totino Grace on the schedule. Of course, Totino Grace, not the same team they were last year. That conference series with Hill Murray is in all likelihood going to decide who gets the 1 seed. Schlagel blocked by Wilson. Fritz was there to cover her tracks. Second try, no good. Now the Eagles looking to run transition. Schlagel found Denon, and Denon is bumped. Mahtomedi had several fouls to give. And the Eagles still up big here, 61-39, with 8:56 left in the second half. Schlagel drives, no good. Whoa! Denon dashing in, throws up a shot, and talk about bang bang. You don't see that often. Hardwick jumped the route, and she'll take it all the way for the finish. The clinic is on with 8:23 to go. Mahtomedi looking for the high-low play. Instead, Fritz picks it off. Gets her own miss. I don't think she did that on purpose, but she'll take the 2 points nonetheless. 4 players in double digits for the Eagles, with the commanding 67-39 lead, and it shows no signs of slipping. Hardwick with another steal. Can she take it all the way again? Not that time. That's a backcourt violation, as Ella Frazier was hassled near half court. I think it's safe to say Eden Prairie will pick up their 10th win of the season. They lost 3 of the last 4, but remember the teams they played: Chaska, Minnetonka, and Hopkins. And the Eagles are a smaller unit. That can hurt them against teams with length like Hopkins and Minnetonka. And Chaska, who really has flirted this year. Vanessa Jordan, no good. Ella Hardwick, 6 points off the bench and looking smooth doing it. Another member of that coveted sophomore class that Ellen Weesey has talked about throughout the season. And free throws coming for Sophia Pierre. You look at all the sophomores they have that are making contributions in big ways: Tori Schlagel, Vanessa Jordan, and Ella Hardwick. Cam Denon comes off the bench, but I have a hunch we'll see her get some starting time next year. This is Sophia Pierre, who's averaging 4.3 points per game. For Mahtomedi, it's not fun to take a whooping like this. It's not the first time they've run into some turbulence against high caliber competition, but for them this is an opportunity to pick up on a few more things. Conference-wise, they should win most, if not all, of their games. Mahtomedi calls a timeout. They'll have 1 left. 6:53 to go. They started conference play with a win over Two Rivers. And they added another big win over South St. Paul. They play Wednesday at Mahtomedi against Hastings. The Hill-Murray series won't begin until February, but they will play each other twice in 8 days. So your 1 seed likely will be decided there. And I don't see anyone else posing a serious threat. Maybe North St. Paul, if they've got something in the tank we haven't seen yet. But it really is a 2-horse race, if you want to call it that. And it's hard not to pick Mahtomedi right now. We'll see if that changes. And for Eden Prairie, much like the rest of the Lake Conference, they're willing to play just about anybody. Hopkins historically had the hardest time finding teams because others might feel intimidated or they don't want to show anything until state. And remember, the Lake Conference, even with Buffalo and St. Michael Abbeville helping fill out some dates, that's going to be a jump. You still have to fill 14 games. It was even worse before Buffalo and STMA joined the mix. There were only 5 teams. That left you 18 dates. $69-40, Eden Prairie. They're going to win this one without much difficulty. And that looked a little sloppy on the part of Mahtomedi. Zephyrs on the run. Ella Cletty finishes the drive. That is her first field goal. And Wilson gets the steal. And more free throws coming for Mahtomedi and Ella Cletty. So the Zephyrs embodying one of the intangibles I always preach when I'm calling games. Play until the clock hits 0. You never know what kind of results it can lead for you. Ella Cletty has been padding her numbers at the free throw line. And even if it doesn't get you a win here, you don't have to worry about facing Eden Prairie in sections or state. But Ella Cletty has made all but one of her free throw attempts. Vanessa Jordan left that one a little soft. Ella Hardwick again, this time having to go almost behind her back. What an impressive game off the bench for Ella. And again, another embodiment of that sophomore class. More free throws coming for Ella Cletty. We'll see if she can add to her totals here. And to continue what I was saying, you never know when free throws will prove valuable in a tight game with a section or state tournament spot on the line. Mahtomedi 17 of 20. Ella Cletty lights out, has made all but one. Nine of 10 by my count. Ray Ehrman is bumped, and she's going to go to the line for two. Ray Ehrman, one of those sharpshooters, 89%. Had a couple of threes in this game. Look at this balance from Eden Prairie. The distribution, remarkable. Tori Schlagel 16, Molly Lenz 15, Anderson and Fritz with 11 each. You may not pay much mind to it because of Mahtomedi's status as a 3A team, but you got to play with the hand you're dealt and make the most of it. Mya Wilson makes the most of that. Gets the friendly bounce on the jumper, and she's up to 6. Effectively, we're in extended stat padding time here. And now it's number 14's turn, Abby Valentin, for a putback bucket. Eden Prairie comes up with a block. Still Mahtomedi ball. Hardwick with the deflection. Ball pinballs around, and Hardwick picks it up. Another defensive hustle play. Denon too far underneath. Ehrman back to the line she goes. Maybe this isn't the most illuminating match for Eden Prairie, but you have to like Ella Hardwick and that lunchbox work ethic she brought to this game. She brought the pail, she brought the shovel, she brought everything, all the tools. She may not be the leading scorer, but she's sending a reminder the way Vanessa Jordan did early this season and Tori Schlagel did last year and this year, that this sophomore class that Eden Prairie has is in position and building the foundation needed to do big things in the next couple of years. Ehrman picks up the rebound after Emily Metzel's putback attempt came up strong. And Ehrman goes back to the line. Ehrman a perfect 4-4. And I think Ellen Weesey and the rest of the coaching staff will beam at the box score here when they look at all of the different ways her players contributed. Valentin in trouble. Lost the handle. And Anna Green unable to cash in on the bunny. Here comes Hardwick. Extra pass. She'll add an assist for Abby Valentin. Green. Nowhere to go. She's had 11 points, but not the easiest of outings. Ray Ehrman with a transition layup, and we're at the mercy rule threshold now, so we'll have running time for the final 3 minutes and change. As Eden Prairie adds another 80-point game. They had a stretch of 3 in a row, and Ray Ehrman, she's got 16 off the bench, 13 in this half. And we'll have a substitution timeout that will briefly stop the clock with 3:06. This is insane. Ehrman was 16, Schlagel was 16, Lenz 15, Anderson, Fritz 11. And that will lead to some of the deep players getting some floor time. Too many to fit onto my score sheet, but we'll do our best to name them. Jazzy Hooks, number 11, the freshman. Emerson Johnson, another freshman, number 13. Talia Bond, number 5. Addison Dvorak. And number 23, Marley Minikin, all freshmen. Names we could see in the future as well. And it makes sense at this stage of the game, no need to pour it on with your starters, and Mahtomedi will get their starters, at least some of them out of there. Mya Wilson, tough game for her, just 6 points. But great things are in her future. This is one of those games for Mahtomedi. It's not fun to be on the receiving end of a runaway, but when they go over the film session, these are the types of games you schedule because you know it will help you in postseason play. In the Metro East, Hill Murray, again, the only serious contender. North St. Paul, I think their game with Hill Murray on Wednesday will say a lot about them. Tartan has some young pieces, including Vienna Murray, but not a lot of great competition this year in the Metro East. So you have to make up for it in these non-conference games. And Mahtomedi, not afraid to take chances, unlike Eden Prairie. This is definitely a chance that Mahtomedi took on. And he may not get the win. But there are signs, signals that Mahtomedi might be a team worth watching. They played Jordan well. Jordan, one of the top teams in 2A, still undefeated. Could be one of the dark horses. Providence Academy, the favorite to win in 2A. Stewartville, a top team in 3A. And a likely candidate getting out of Section 1 this year. Free throws coming for Marley Minikin, the 5'10 freshman. And these players, they might come in for stat padding time now. Whoops. Well, that's okay. Brighter times lie ahead for all of them. A wire-to-wire win for the Eagles. As time winds down, from start to finish, they asserted their might, and they're going to pick up the 10th win of the season, 85-48 over Mahtomedi. 5 players in double digits. Tori Schlagel was 16, Ray Ehrman was 16, Molly Lenz with 15, Anderson and Fritz with 11, For Mahtomedi, Ella Cletty and Anna Green both had 11 each. But keep an eye out for these two. Again, for Eden Prairie, they're in the group of death, so Minnetonka, Chaska, Prior Lake, any one of those teams could make a run. Mahtomedi, that series with Hill Murray, will say a lot about who gets the slot out of Section 4-3A. We're going to jump right to our next game if you're following along on the TSB Television YouTube channel, which is Chaska and Champlain Park, but we like to thank you for watching this game. Stick around as we conclude our coverage of the Martin Luther King Jr. Classic at St. Catherine University. Eden Prairie wins 85-48 over Mahtomedi.